All right, we're live in 3, 2, and 1. Oh, we're here. All right. Here we are. TikTok Live, soon to be uploaded onto YouTube as well, which, by the way, if anything happens to TikTok, which we could talk about tonight, if you are on here and you want to follow me on other platforms, you can do that at Wisconsin_fam on Twitter X, Wisconsin_fam, FAM. So there's that. And then YouTube as well, youtube.com/at Wisconsin Family 1, the number 1. So it'll be uploaded there too when we're done. Just a few thoughts for tonight. Don't peek. Matt LaFleur. Jordan Love this year. Packer defense. Alright. A little better. Highly paid Packer players. My TikTok followers. Yeah. That's it. Anything you guys want to talk about, let me know. Check in. Let me know where you're watching from. We're just hanging out here on a Tuesday night. We're in the sports room, and we're hanging out, watching the Bucks, which I guess has froze on me. So let me refresh that. We're gonna see if we can win some money tonight on the Bucks game. So how about that? That would be wonderful. Let's start this over and make sure that we have the Bucks. Oh, there we are. Bucks scored a ton of points in the first quarter. Now they're about halfway through the second, but they're up 58-35 over the Kings. I actually thought about going to the game tonight, and then I'm here. I'm here with you guys instead. Too damn cold to be walking around downtown Milwaukee anyway, right? It's about 0 degrees here in southeast Wisconsin. So chilly, but did think about going to the Bucks game. Almost did it, but decided against that. So instead, we're hanging out here where it's nice and warm. Sports room in the basement, and watching the Bucks. Still wearing some Packer gear, right? Still got to do that, and we'll talk to you guys for a while here. But at least the Bucks are winning. Are they like 2 games over 500 right now? Yeah. That's how it goes so far this year in Wisconsin. 2025, you know what I'm saying? Not the best start, if you're a sports fan. Braden, thank you for the likes. Appreciate it. Bronco Danny, thank you for joining in. Braden, thank you again for the likes. Let's see. Dean kicks us off here with a name I wanted to see, Jordan Love. Dean says Jordan Love, Justin Herbert. Oh, where are you going, Dean? And a trash can. All the same thing. Dean is bringing the juice right away here. First comment out of the chute by Dean. Jordan Love, Justin Herbert, and a trash can. All the same thing. Corey B says, was totally expecting to lose, but it still doesn't get easier. Yeah, that's one thing. And I mentioned this on a video that I posted before. Normally, when the Packers lose in the playoffs and the season ends, it kind of feels like I've fallen off of a cliff, like sports-wise. And it's like, well, what the hell do I do now? Because you kind of think that they're going to win, whatnot. But I don't feel that way after this loss for the Packers, because because you kind of think that they're going to win, whatnot, but I don't feel that way after this loss for the Packers, because because you kind of think that they're going to win, whatnot, but I don't feel that way after this loss for the Packers, because I 100% unfortunately expected to lose that game. So 100% unfortunately expected to lose that game. So 100% unfortunately expected to lose that game. So I'm with you, Corey. Was totally expecting it. This was kind of an easy loss for me. I mean, it sucks, right? Whatever. I appreciate it. Bronco Danny, thank you for the follow. Somebody else followed in there too. Thank you. Marv said, my wife and I just did a travel contract in Rice Lake, Wisconsin. We love Wisconsin. All right, good. Good. Rice Lake. Not bad. Texans win or lose, they deserve the respect. All right, they were not bad. Texans win or lose, they deserve the respect. All right, they were kind of in the same boat as the Packers this season for the most part. Packers beat them, but hey, they get the playoff success. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, nobody's going to mess with Green Bay once we fix those little mistakes. Well, the little mistakes were kind of big all season, and they didn't get fixed yet, so waiting for that to happen. Jordy Love 54, thank you for following. Appreciate it. Guys, make sure you guys are sharing the live and inviting your followers and others here as well. Paul is laughing or crying, I don't know which, but does it matter at this point? No. Disappointing end to the Brewers season. Disappointing season for the most part for the Packers if you're considering wanting to beat elite teams. Does it matter if you're laughing or crying? No. Paul, thank you for the gifts. Appreciate it. Yeah. So, that's where we're at. Sexy Beast, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Tough end to the season. Packers has some things they definitely need to work on. Future is bright, says MDG. Yeah, hopefully the future is bright. If they correct those things. If they can correct all those things, the future will be bright. Yeah. That is true. MGD, thank you for the gifts. Appreciate that. MX2, thank you for the follow. Thanks. And if you guys are scrolling through TikTok right now, tap on the screen. I'll give you a shout out. Kenny, thank you for the gift. Let's see. We got Dwayne says, who you playing this weekend? Packers, nobody. And I didn't expect them to. Kenny says, Love played scared. Yeah. Jason, thank you for the likes. Louis Golf says, how do you feel about the Packers pursuing T. Higgins? I'd be okay with that. They need a number one receiver. And all the talk in the offseason was, well, they don't need a number one receiver. They got 3. They got 0. And the closest one, which he really isn't a wide receiver one, was Christian Watson. And who knows what, I mean, he's going to be out for most of the season next year anyway. And who knows if he will ever play another game again for the Packers. Jason says, cheers from Wisconsin Dells. Jason, welcome in. Oh, I saw Bo Nix join here. Somebody's a Bo Nix fan. All right, nothing wrong with that. Wrath, thank you for the gift. Lexus Day, welcome in. LaFleur coached way too conservatively all year. I hope to see that change. And that comment came to us from, where did that come from? Rats. Yeah. Doug says, better luck next year. Yeah. About LaFleur and coaching too conservatively. You know, I had a thought on this. So you guys can tell me what you think here. Let me give you this thought really quick. And there's a lot of different layers to this, so it may not apply. It was just something that came into my head, so naturally I'm going to spew it out of my mouth because whatever comes into my brain I say out loud. When it comes to LaFleur calling plays too conservatively, so let's think about this. Let me just stick with me, guys. If you're in here, don't leave. Just keep watching. I gotta give you just a thought that I had about Jordan Love and the success he had last year in the second half and how it pertains to LaFleur and how his regression this year also pertains to LaFleur. All right, so let's start with this. Number one, the premise being that a lot of people say, well, Jordan Love is kind of cut out of the same cloth as Brett Favre. All right, so let's start with that premise. If that's true, and Love is similar to Favre, when you're playing that way, you can't be conservative, and you can't be scared, and you can't be tight. Love started out slow last year, and the offense just didn't look good until about halfway through the season. And then the consensus around the Packers was that essentially LaFleur started trusting Love, took the training wheels off, and just kind of said, all right, go out there, let it rip. And suddenly, Love played really well. Don't think, just go out, react, and play. And all of a sudden, everything started clicking. This year, they kind of, with LaFleur's approach on offense, they went back to like the conservative training wheels on for Love, and we don't really trust them. And that causes you to be worried about making mistakes. That causes you to play tight. When you play tight, you're not accurate. And when you're not being loose, being yourself, if you're Love, you're just not going to play well. I mean, if you're a guy like, if he is cut out of the same cloth as Favre, you kind of need to be told to just go out there, let it rip, and don't care. And that's going to get the most out of him. And if they're not doing that, it's going to cause Love to play tight. It's going to cause him to not be as good as he could be. So that was just the thought I had. And I saw a comment here that I wanted to mention. Okay, hold on. Let me go back and find it here. Soft Packer team got rolled from Zach. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, and Steve-O says Jordan Love cut from the cloth of zestiness. Can't compare him to Favre. I'm just saying that a lot of people do compare him to Favre. Do I think that Jordan Love's ever going to be Brett Favre? No. Aaron Rodgers wasn't Brett Favre. I mean, Aaron Rodgers was as good or maybe better than Favre in a different way, but nobody's ever going to be Brett Favre. I'm just saying a lot of people compare Love to Favre in the way that they play and some of the turnovers and some of the recklessness. And I'm just saying if Love is at his best when he's throwing some interceptions, but outside of the interceptions, he's kind of allowed to just go out there and not think, just see, just react, just do. And that causes him to play more loose, which is more accurate and just overall better for his personality. Then you shouldn't take that away from him if you're LaFleur. But no, Jordan Love's never going to be as good as Brett Favre, and the comparison I found to be kind of silly too. I'm just saying, if you think that he is cut out of the same cloth as Favre, then you can't be holding him down, and you can't be showing him a lack of confidence. QB or OB1 says Love was awful this year. No, he wasn't good. He was not good. Giannis J. Love Churio says, I have very little concern about Love. Only year 2 for him. He's going to be fine. It's year 2, but how many years in the NFL? Now, this is something that was interesting. I meant to post this on Twitter earlier. A lot of people are comparing Brett Favre's second year starting to Jordan Love's second year starting, saying, well, look at Love's numbers in a lot of places are better than Favre's. And that's true. I saw the numbers. They are. But Jordan Love was in the NFL, in the locker room, in practices, in training camps, in mini camps, all that, for how many years before he became a starter? This is year number 5 for Love, second year starting, right? Year 5. Second year starting. Brett Favre, I believe, sat for 1 year. So his second year, if you're comparing it to Love, Brett Favre's second year starting was his 3rd year in the NFL. Not his 5th. So there is a difference there. Ralph says, as an Eagles fan, but I must say Packers are up and coming. Well, they're young, so, I mean, that would seem to hopefully be the trajectory. They're young, but they're not experienced. The Packers being young is not a good excuse, because what is the problem with being a young team in the NFL? It's not about the age. It's not about the number of years that you are. It's about how much experience you have. That's the problem with youth. Well, the Packers, this Packer team had experience. They had experience last year. They had experience in the playoffs, and they had experience winning in the playoffs. And this year, they just didn't follow that up. Doesn't matter about the age. Kyle says Love ain't the guy. Adam, Love is not the answer. Overpaid him way too quick. Yeah, and Adam, I can't argue with you on that. I mean, the Packers didn't have a whole lot of choices. They paid the going rate for a quarterback who played the way he did in the second half of the year. Could have used a franchise tag on him. I mean, they were in kind of a tough spot. It was a great spot for Love, and to be fair, it was a really good spot for Love, and his performance in the second half really painted or backed the Packers into a corner and made them do something. So I mean, Love took the bull by the horns last year, and he took care of his business. That's for sure. Tough spot, but the amount of money to give up was insanity. Yeah. Not worth $55 million a year. Let's be real, says Sam. Yeah, I agree. The way he played in the second half of last season, Brian. Yeah, did he? Yeah. The way he played in the second half of last season, he took advantage. He took advantage of where he was at in his career and where the Packers were in terms of needing to make a decision on him. Love took full advantage of that by the way he played. Adam says Sam Darnold played better. Well, he did in the regular season, not so much in the playoffs, though. That didn't go good. Let's see. Giannis J. Love Churio says, frustrating because with Rodgers we didn't have a D, and now with Love we have a D and struggle on offense. Yeah. Brian says, damn, sorry, you seem kind of nice. I'm all right. Miles says, who do I have in the Super Bowl? I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be another year for the Chiefs. I think it's either gonna for the AFC. I think Lions are gonna make it in the NFC. Unfortunately, as much as I hate to say that, AFC. I haven't decided yet, but I mean, preseason, I picked the Chiefs. I don't think they're going to be there. Lions and coming out of the AFC, let me get back to you on that. It's either going to be the Bills or the Ravens. Bills or Ravens. Kyle says Lions, Ravens. Yep, I could get behind that. Poppy says, I was rooting for you guys. I was too. John Snow, what do you think of my Vikings last night? John, I appreciate you joining in here, but that's what I thought. Vikings had a good regular season. Better regular season than the Packers, didn't they? Beat the Packers twice. We're in the same boat right now. Miles says, I think the Chiefs three-peat. Adam, the script has been sent. Hurts has beaten every top quarterback in the last 2 years. Burrow, Mahomes, Allen, Lamar. He's 4-0. Jack says Vikings always choke in the playoffs. Well, most teams do. Only one team ultimately, well, maybe two teams you can consider don't. But yeah, the Vikings are pretty good at early unexpected exits. But the Packers have had their fair share over the years, too. John says, not sure if you're bringing Aaron Jones back. Well, older running back, injury problems, still good, but there's a reason the Packers moved on from him. The Packers upgraded the running back position, going from Jones to Josh Jacobs. Kyle says, not trying to be that way, but the North was overrated all year besides the Lions. I wouldn't say that the North was overrated, including the Packers and the Vikings, who both had obviously first round exits. I think the North was really good. I think obviously the North was the best division in football because of the way that they beat up on everyone else outside of it. I mean, if they're beating up on teams outside the North, they're obviously better than a lot of those teams. But yeah. The Lions definitely set the pace, and the Vikings weren't too far behind, at least in the regular season. Adam says, I feel for you, man. Packer fan base is the best for sure out of all the fan bases I've met at games. Yeah, Packer fans are pretty nice to you. Not like that idiot Eagles fan that was making its rounds on social media. Only team overrated was the Bears. Wow, they better get used to that, pal. What do we have? Rodgers. Jack says opinion on Rodgers this season. Not much. I mean, I didn't expect him to be as bad as he was. I expected the experiment in New York to go about as poorly as it did if things started out bad. And they started out bad, and it went about as I expected. Stephanie says that fan, I'm guessing the Eagles fan, is disowned by its fan base. Unacceptable. Well, that's good. Mr. Lawn Care says, so the Rams beat the Eagles. That's going to be a good game. I'd still take the Eagles, though, in that. King says, Aaron Rodgers had his prime in Green Bay and his retirement party on the Jets. Yeah. We got one here. I'm an Eagles fan, and one of my favorite parts of last season was you guys beating the Cowboys. That was one of my favorite parts, too. Tom, thank you for the likes. Appreciate it. Keegan says that the Eagles are still rusty. I'd bet on the Rams, but who knows with them. Yeah, well, I think the Eagles have a week under their belt here with Hurts being back. So I assume they're not going to be as rusty as they were last week, and they're going to have some confidence knowing that they beat the Packers, and the Eagles definitely didn't play their best game, but I wouldn't bet against the Eagles against the Rams. I mean, Rams look really good against the Vikings. The Eagles didn't look so good against the Packers, but you're going to Philadelphia. I'm not picking against Philly in that. I'll pick against Philly, assuming that they have to play the Lions at some point, but no. Stafford, hot though, yeah. Heath says, yeah. Well, he played well. They played well. Gabby, Curly, thank you for joining in. Zane, thank you for joining. Hey, what's your name? Just Kim something. Welcome from Manitowoc. Thank you for checking in. Appreciate it. There's always a chance Saquon's going to win the game himself. Well, he could. But the Eagles have a lot of other great pieces and a good team besides him. Should be a good game. Who do we have? Heath, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. And thank you for the gift, too. What is this? Baby Pluto says, you heard the GoFundMe Packers fan guy. I'm not sure what that is. I had not heard. King said, who would you like to see come back to the Packers for re-sign? Thank you for the follow, by the way, too, King. You mean of those who are going to be free agents? I'm not real worried about that free agent list that the Packers have. The kicker, McManus. Outside of that, not too worried about any of those guys leaving, to be honest with you. Jose says we need to trade Jair Alexander. Yeah, I don't think Alexander's not going to be there next year. Let me just say that right now. He's not going to be there. And with the way he's been so injury prone and also with his piss poor attitude, I don't know how much you're going to get for him in a trade, to be honest. But you can't bring him back if you're the Packers. I wouldn't. There's no way. G Money says bear down. Yeah. I don't even think that the Bears are worth a response right now, but that's just me. But I appreciate you being in here. D, Patty, thank you for joining in. Aaron, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Nice name. That's my name too. CBF says, go Birds. Who am I rooting for now that the Packers are out of it? Nobody really in the NFC. Sure as hell ain't the Chiefs. No, hell no, I'm not rooting for the Lions. No. Lions, no. Rams, I don't care. Eagles, not. No. Not just because they beat the Packers, but whatever. Jose says Malik or Love. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, Jose, because they're paying Love all the money. It's going to be Love. Yeah, King, you got it. Yeah, if anything, I would agree with that. If anything, the Bills. Yeah, I could do that. I think Dobbs will be gone before next season as well. I don't think Dobbs is going to be gone. I don't know what's going to happen with his head injuries here, but yeah. Terry says I need to trade Christian Watson. He's reminding me of Bakhtiari too much. Well, yeah, hard to trade though a Watson or a Bakhtiari who's hurt like that, and Watson's going to miss most of the next year anyway. And you can't just trade somebody and expect people to take on the injuries and everything else. So you got to be a suitor for it, and I don't know if there's going to be that for him. Nice guy, and Luke, thank you for joining in. He says Allen has been playing like he's on a mission. Yeah. Yep. He is. Will Jair be gone next season? Yes, I believe so. Daryl, thank you for the follow. Joseph says, sorry, franchise. Not sure who he's referring to. Who are you talking about, Joseph? Tyler says LaFleur was supposed to be a genius at running crossing routes and deception. He's way too predictable. Definitely down the stretch he was. He was a genius when Love was hurt for a few games earlier in the season and you had Malik Willison, but yeah. Better says it's hard being a Packer fan. Yeah. Could be a Vikings fan, could be a Bears fan. King, do you think Odell Beckham or no? So right there, I'll stop you. No, Beckham, no. Or Tyreek Hill would do good on the Packers. I think that Hill would do good on the Packers, but for a very limited time. I don't think there's any chance in hell that Matt LaFleur would be able to handle Tyreek Hill. And I don't know that I want him to even try that. I'd rather bring Devontae Adams back. Yeah, it's not hard being a Packer fan. We're consistent. Yeah. Zach says, how are we feeling about Love? Not good. Not great. Jason, which free agent wide receiver would you want to go after? I'd prefer... I mean, I wouldn't mind T. Higgins, but I also wouldn't mind swinging some kind of a deal for Adams. 42 says Jordan Love feature, or maybe you mean future MVP. No, I don't think Jordan Love's ever going to win an MVP. Cole says Josh Jacobs is going to bring Max Crosby to Green Bay. Yeah, Jacobs in his clearing out the locker segment when he was talking to the media for the last time this year said that he was going to try to bring some guys in. Oh, I would love Max Crosby to come in. Hey, you think the Packers could trade Rashawn Gary for Max Crosby? Hey, Raiders, here you go. We have a Pro Bowl edge rusher for you. His name is Rashawn Gary. We'll give you him. We'll take Max Crosby. No questions asked, guys. You take the Pro Bowler this year. We'll take Max Crosby. Easy peasy. Hell yeah, let's do that. TJ says, what happened when you guys played the Eagles? We sucked. That's what happened. Tyler says, I could see fairy tale ending. Adams and Rodgers come back. Rodgers back up knowing Love get hurt. Rodgers is not coming back to Green Bay. Hate to break that one to you. Yeah, yeah. Vike Suck says, give them Gary and Clark. They'd still laugh. Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah. No, I think it'd be great. You know, the Packers say we got this outside linebacker. He's a Pro Bowler, guys. Rashawn Gary is his name. You take him, we'll take Max Crosby. Even trade. Say yes. Hurry up. There are so many reasons I wouldn't have time tonight for Rodgers not coming back to Green Bay. Goody being there as being the number one reason. And that's like 1A out of 1A through Z. And that's just one. Yeah, user 59 says, go Pack, go. You got it, pal. Philly, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. C-Wick says, all these love haters, of which I would be accused of being one, weren't saying this last year. He will be a top 10 quarterback next year easily. All right, why? Why do you think so? Why do you think so? And, you know, the reason that the love haters weren't saying this last year is because he played great last year. And this year he played like at average at best. So, and this is something that everyone needs to realize, and I don't know why this is a hard concept for people to understand, but it is 100% acceptable to praise a player when he's playing well, and it's also 100% acceptable to say a player is not playing well when he's not playing well, and it's also acceptable to change your opinion on anything in life, not just quarterbacks, but on anything in life, when you get new information. An opinion or your thought on something or someone is not a set in stone. Once you give your opinion, it's locked in, it's there, it's truth forever. Oh, opinions can change. Opinions can change based off of new information. This is really not that hard of a concept. Really not. Yeah. Well, Terry says Devontae for Watson trade. What do you think? Yeah, hell yeah. Let's do that too. I mean, hell, the Jets might be dumb enough to do that. Jose says, what do you think failed us against the Eagles? Lots. Same stuff that failed the Packers all season when they played elite teams. Not coming out ready to play. Penalties. Turnovers. Poor play calling. Self-inflicted wounds all the way around. Coaching, Major Incognito chimes in. Bad coaching. That too. Terry says, go Pack, go. You got it. No discipline. Yes, that too. Guy Big 69. Love will be fine though, truthfully. I hope so. What makes you say that? What makes you say that? I'm not criticizing. I'm not asking you. I am asking you. I'm not criticizing. I'm not putting you down. I'm asking you why. Hayden says Love is not the guy. Victor, Max Crosby. Yeah, that's enough said. Max Crosby. Bring him on in. Major Incognito says, yes, go Lions. I can't get behind you on that one, buddy. No Lions for me, sorry. Ghost, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Well, James says LaFleur is not a bad coach as a Bears fan. Well, your standards are a lot lower than ours. I mentioned that. And I never said that LaFleur is a bad coach. I don't know that he's going to win a Super Bowl, though. There are a lot of things that LaFleur does really well. And there are a lot of major issues that he does not. But to be fair, coming from a Bear fan, you're just kind of hoping that you're going to be able to win the NFC North, right? And we're looking at Super Bowls. Randy says Love hasn't won a big game yet. Well, that's not true though, because he did. He won a big game against the Cowboys last year, and he won a lot of big games down the stretch, and all these games that the Packers needed to win. I mean, with like 5 weeks left, they had like a 10% chance to make the playoffs, maybe even lower, and they won those games. But this year, Love, no. Tuck says you don't have a Super Bowl team anymore. Face it. Well, you don't have to tell me. Packers are out of the playoffs. Obviously, they don't have a Super Bowl team this year. DC says, where in Wisconsin are you from? I am located in southeast Wisconsin. Right along Lake Michigan. Not too far from Milwaukee. Brett says, people get so mad when something bad happens one time. Well, there's a lot of bad things that happened this year, not just one time. Something bad happened every single time the Packers played an elite team. And DC says, you're in Kenosha. All right. Enjoying the cold, eh? Planning a trip to Madison in the fall. From Dansall. All right. Madison is a good place to go in the fall. Major Incognito checking in from Door County. Thank you, guys. Tidal Wave Dave, watch Favre play his 200th start at Lambeau. Nice. I don't know. I watched Favre play quite a few, games I went to. A lot of starts in Lambeau. Don't know what numbers they were, though. But 200, that's a, that's a milestone game to be at. Danny says, Love needed to rest more this season. He played through a lot of injury. Well, here's the thing, Danny, the way I looked at it, because people still talking about his injury. Here's the thing. Either you're good enough to play, and you can come in and you can play, and you can be cleared and you can play, or you can't. Okay? And if you're good enough to come in and play, and you're making all that money, then you need to play up to your contract, whether you're hurt or not. That's it. That is fact. That's the way it is. Dancehall, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Dancehall says, think the Bills are going all the way. Could be. King, thank you for the likes. The real Emet, thank you for the likes. Appreciate it. C. Wick says, anyone who says Love is bad doesn't watch football. Well, I'm saying it's bad, and I watch football every weekend. Well, not bad. He's average. He was average this year. Randy says, going to Lambeau first time in October. Should I rent a Verbo close to stadium? I've been waiting 68 years. Nice. Well, congratulations, number one, on heading to Lambeau. I don't know. I mean, fortunately, being as close here in Wisconsin as I've been, I never had to worry about that, and I've never stayed in Green Bay while watching a game, because the places that I've lived in Wisconsin have all been within about an hour and 20 minutes of Green Bay, so I never had to worry about that. I mean, I've stayed at hotels near Lambeau Field, lots of decent places around there, yeah. Whatever you want to do, I'm happy you're going to Lambeau, though. It'll be good. Jacob says, how about them Bears? Oh, how about them Bears? Tidal Wave Dave, the game I watched, you stayed in Appleton. Yeah, right down the road. Hold on. Dan Sal says, is Madison and Green Bay doable? I don't... Doable what? Oh. Is Madison and Green Bay doable in a weekend? Yeah. Oh, yeah. For sure. What, Madison is probably about, well, let's see. It's about an hour. It's about 2 hours away from each other. 2.5. Where's McCarthy going? I don't know. Maybe nowhere. I mean, not back to the Cowboys, but I don't know. Pell Saint says, no idea what it takes to play in the NFL. I have no idea what it takes to play in the NFL, but I can see it with my eyes when I can see people who can do it and people who can't at a high level. I do know that. Just like I don't know what it takes to be president of the United States, but I can recognize when somebody can and can't be. That's for damn sure. Braden says Jordan Love gets one more year to prove himself, and then it's time to start searching. He said it. I didn't. Randy says we need a big shutdown corner, fast edge guy, and a physical center in the draft. And T. Higgins. Well, that's a lot to ask for, but I'm not going to disagree with anything on that. Mike says you think the Bills can beat the Ravens? Yeah. And I think the Ravens can beat the Bills. Jose says, give Love 3 more years. If he can't learn from his mistakes, move on. Well, they're going to give him that time anyway because of his contract, so it doesn't really matter one way or the other. Right, wrong, in between, doesn't matter. He's got the contract, he's going to be there. No, Pally Saint says, become a GM. I would, but my chances kind of eluded me now. I wasn't gunning for a head coach or a GM position of the Packers. I was going to try for president, but now they got the new guys starting in July, taking Mark Murphy's place. So I missed out on that one too. Unfortunately for Packer fans everywhere, don't you think? Packers Suck says, who do you think? I shouldn't even answer you, but I will because you were nice enough to join. Who do you think is going to the Super Bowl? I'm going, I haven't decided AFC yet. Either the Bills or the Ravens. If you press me on it right now, I'm going to say Bills and Lions. I do not want the Lions to go to the Super Bowl. I also don't want the Chiefs to go to the Super Bowl, but I just don't think the Chiefs are that great. Morgan says, I just want to say as an Eagles fan, sorry for how that horrible fan treated our fan. Yeah, appreciate it. Well, yeah, he went viral enough. Jerry says, do I live in Green Bay? I do not live in Green Bay. Why not the Lions? Because I can't stand the Lions, that's why. Morgan says Eagles going to the Super Bowl. That could be. I don't think the Eagles are going to beat the Lions, though. You want me to come join you in New Orleans? All right, well, maybe. Let me check my schedule. Jerry says, have you ever been to a game in Green Bay? Yes, I have. Many games. A couple of big games, good games. Two most iconic games that I've ever been to. Packer games. Number one, the Al Harris interception against the against the Seahawks in the playoffs. I was at that game. And I was at the Dez Bryant catch game, which just came up on its anniversary the other day. I was at that one too. Standing room only for that game. And the Al Harris interception, I was sitting at about the 35-yard line. About 30 rows up, I think. JP, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Yeah, Rick says Dez Bryant didn't catch. I was at the game. I didn't see no catch. I did not see a catch. Jerry says, I'm a Giants fan. My bucket list is to go to a Green Bay game. Any advice for going there? No, not really. Get your tickets wherever you get them from. And there's a lot of hotels that are pretty close. Just, book it far enough out and do that. Yeah, Dez was great, then just disappeared. That he did. Hey, look at that. We got a Go Pack Go here. We like that. We love that. Shannon, thank you. Have I been to U.S. Bank Stadium for a Packers-Vikings game? That would be a good game to go to. Yeah, it would be. I have not. I've not been there. I've been to Target Field a couple of times for Twins games. I'm a Wisconsin guy. I'm a Brewer fan, but I'm also a Twins fan, too. Grew up as a Twins fan. And so I've been to Minnesota to the Metrodome, to Twins games. Been Target Field for a couple of games as well. Local man says, do you really think you're going to make the playoffs next year? Yeah, I do. Yeah, Target Field is nice. It is. Right in the middle of downtown. I mean, it's what it is. But it's nice. Jesse says, what do you think the Packers need to make the playoffs next year? Well, I mean, if they do what they did this year, I think they're going to make the playoffs next year. I don't think the Vikings are going to be as good as what they were. I might be wrong. I'll be curious to see what the Lions are when they lose their coordinators. I think Campbell's a pretty good coach. I think he's flawed like LaFleur is, just in a different way. But I think the Packers replicate what they did this year. They're going to be in the playoffs again next year. Will they win a Super Bowl playing how they played this year and not improving on a lot of key categories? No, they're not going to win a Super Bowl. Make the playoffs, yes, but I don't know. Richard says, why can't the Eagles beat the Lions? I mean, they could. I just don't think they will. They could. I don't think they will because I don't think you're going to go into Detroit and win that game. And I think the Lions are believing more than anyone else right now that they are the team to do it. And I just think that the talent that they have, the determination that they have, the home field advantage that they have, I don't think anyone's going to go in there and beat them. I didn't say it couldn't happen. I don't think it will. 999 forever. What time do the Packers play next week? Oh, not next week, my friend. They don't play until August in the preseason. But you knew that, didn't you? Jameis, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Detroit is beat up. Yep. The Eagles won there last year. Yep. Yes, I would agree with that, Ashton. Last year's loss hurt more than this year for the Packers. I would agree with that. Because last year, and here's why, if you're talking about the loss in the divisional round to the 49ers, that loss hurt more. Why? Because you, going into it, thought they had a better chance to win. They were playing well, they were on a roll, and you thought maybe they had a chance to win that game. Going into this Sunday's game, you thought, well, maybe they could win. Probably not, though. And so it's not that surprising that they lost. User 710, thank you for the follow. T-Bass, what is your favorite kind of cheese? What a great question that is. My favorite kind. I mean, how can you choose between all the wonderful, beautiful cheeses out there? Harvati cheese. It's good stuff. I like Swiss, too. Cheddar. Aged cheddar. Probably my favorite. I gotta see what's going on here in the Bucks game. I haven't been watching it.
Because all they've really sold you is a promise. A promise to be there when things go bad. A promise to take care of you,
Let's see.
to step up, put everything back the way it was. So, if you don't trust your insurance company, maybe it's time to find one you do trust. West Bend. The worst brings out our best.
Aged cheddar delicious, yes.
3 workers lost their lives. Their widows.
It is.
When maintenance workers were permanently injured by an industrial accident.
Kay Cooper, Matt, welcome in. Thank you for joining. Mason, thank you for joining in. Do I like Philadelphia cream cheese? Sure. It's alright. On bagels, I suppose. Kai says you need an answer. What was your question? I didn't see it. Send it again. No, I don't like Philadelphia Eagles. Want us to sign Devontae back? Yeah, I'd take that.
Giannis has always been tough to defend, but when he can extend his range out now to the mid-range and hit it consistently, good luck being as a defender because you know he can do this.
Philadelphia, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that.
So it doesn't matter. I mean, then he's going to retreat no matter what. He's going to retreat at 3.9. You dribble to the elbow. He's still retreating. Not like he's going to push up on you and contest that.
KC Girl, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that.
He gets to the rim and dunk on you. He's going to give him a 3 to 5 foot cushion every single time and just
Dance. Texans might beat the Ravens. I don't think so. Randy, thank you for the follow. Eddie says, why do the Brewers trade their best bullpen pitcher? Because that's what the Brewers do. KIV HFT, I don't know how to say your name. Whatever. Thank you for the follow, though. I appreciate it. Oh, Kai says, I got a Jacobs jersey for Christmas, and the first time I wore it, they lost to the Bears. Burn it? No, I wouldn't burn it. No. That wasn't on you, my friend. That was on the Green Bay Packers, not on you. Golfball says, love is not the answer. Yeah. KC Girl says, you see what I said? No, I didn't. I'm sorry. But if you want to send it out again, I will do my best to see it this time. But I did not. Krubo, Bears fan here, got mad respect for you and all Packers fans. Caleb versus Love going to be a good rivalry. We'll see. KC Girl, I got you this time, says, hey, live in Minnesota as a Kansas City fan. The threats I got getting gas, they want to break my windows. Well, that's not nice. All right, what do we got here? 36 seconds left for the Bucks in the third quarter, up by 20, 102-82. Good. Question is, am I going to win money? Ten seconds left in the third quarter for the Bucks here. When they end this quarter, I'm going to run to the bathroom. Watching Duke smash Miami. Nothing wrong with that, I guess, unless you hate Duke. I never really cared one way or the other. You know, a lot of people don't like Duke, but don't matter none to me. All right, quarter's over. I'm going to run to the bathroom, so don't go nowhere.
experienced driver, you'll enjoy higher starting pay and more job options to choose from. Plus, you'll get what you need to have a successful, fulfilling driving career, including award-winning benefits, state-of-the-art equipment, and a complete pay package. Don't miss out. Find a job near you and apply today at Canada.com. Lots of insurance companies make promises about how much you can save if you switch over to them. Well, here's our promise. With the West Bend policy, you can save everything.
All right, we're still here.
Every detail. Everything you've worked so hard for.
Oh, what's going on here?
Make a claim. A cheap insurance policy that really costs you.
Okay.
Protect everything that matters with a policy from West Bend. Because the worst brings the best.
Is it Milwaukee or Milwaukee? Well, I always said Milwaukee, like Mawwaukee. Milwaukee, though. The Milwaukee Bucks, Milwaukee Brewers, Milwaukee Admirals, Milwaukee Milkmen. Would I welcome Adams back? Yes, I would. For the right price. He'd have to restructure his contract. Take less money to some point, but I would take him back, yes. I would. What are the Packers looking for in the draft, in my opinion? Offensive line, pass rusher, defensive back, specifically cornerback, receiver. Goody not reaching for a project. That's what I'd be looking for. Hey, Packers plus Bucks and Brewers. Telling somebody to shut up and get out of the chat. How you doing tonight, buddy? Yes, I agree. The first thing we need to do is re-sign McManus. Yes, absolutely. This is what I said. This is it. You take Jeff McManus or Brandon McManus, and you give him like a 5-year contract. Say, here you go. Here, 5-year contract, nice money. Set it and forget it, and just move on. Don't touch it. Don't mess with it. Just sign McManus and move on. Don't think about it again. Don't screw around with drafting anyone. Don't screw around with bringing free agents in. Give McManus a contract. Set it. Forget it. We'll revisit this in about 5 years. That's what I would do with him. Should they have used Kraft even more against Philly? I guess. I mean, but yeah. I'm all for using Kraft more. Although, to be honest with you, I don't remember what the numbers were, but I heard them the other day on games where Kraft was more involved. I mean, their record wasn't exponentially better. You'd think it would be, but it wasn't. And maybe that didn't have anything to do with the offense in those games. I don't know. I didn't do a deep enough dive into it. Nicholas says, didn't you lose to the Eagles? I forgot. Hell yeah, they lost to the Eagles exactly as I thought they would. Looked so soft during that game. Yep. Don't they always when they play elite teams? Is Love the future of the Packers? Well, for the foreseeable future he is, no matter how he plays, because he's got the contract. They're not going to bench him. I'm not saying that he would be. I mean, he might be the best option, could be the best option, but all of it's my opinion on Love. I mean, I'll give it, and I do give it, and I've given it on here and on YouTube and on Twitter X, and but my opinion on Love is really irrelevant because what is the case is that they're not benching him, not with the contract that he has. I'm not saying you can't ask for him to be benched or want him to be benched if he doesn't play well. I'm not saying that. You can do that all you want, and maybe in some cases I might tend to agree with you. I don't know, but all I'm telling you is that, and you definitely have a right to that opinion, and you might not be wrong sometimes, but they're not going to. So he is the future, whether you like it or not, whether he should be or not, irrelevant, doesn't matter. He's got the contract. He's going to be the future. It's what it is. Troy says Packers need corners, a receiver, pass rusher. That's what I said. Bucks After Dark says Lions running the North for the next 5 years minimum. We'll see. We'll see. I'm very curious to see what happens when they lose the coordinators. COVID Baby says, is McCarthy coming back to the Packers? Hey, yes, maybe. Maybe, and I have a theory on that. Could Mike McCarthy make a return to the Green Bay Packers? Yes. I think that there's a very distinct possibility that that Mike McCarthy does return to the Green Bay Packers. You guys give me 1,000 more likes and I'll tell you in what capacity he will come back to the Green Bay Packers. Give it 1,000 likes and throw some shares in there too. If we get up to 4.4 thousand likes, okay, 4.4 thousand likes, 4 Brett Favre, I'll remember that, 4.4 thousand likes and a handful of shares, then I'll tell you in what capacity Mike McCarthy could very realistically return to the Green Bay Packers. And I mean that with all my heart. And Dan says maybe as a GM. Yeah. Lisa, thank you for the follow. Steven says we need a real offensive coordinator. The plays are stale. Thank you for the follows, guys. No, I don't wish that McCarthy would return to the Packers. Me, I look like Mike's younger brother, like Mike McCarthy, Fat Mike. David says Clements retired. McCarthy is QB coach. Can't tell you. But if we get up to 4.4 thousand likes, I'm seeing a lot of likes come in here. We're going to hit that, I think. But keep liking it. And I'll tell you, I do believe Mike McCarthy could make a triumphant return to the Green Bay Packers. And what capacity that is, get us to 4.4 thousand likes. And also, I need some shares here. Share it, guys. We need a few shares. Chicago seems to really want him. To want Fat Mike. Well, maybe. Now we got 4.1 thousand likes. 300 more likes and a few shares here. Got to get the shares going. I'm not going to tell you in what capacity I think Mike McCarthy could return. Baby Driver, follow. Thank you. Appreciate it. Hey, do we want Sam Darnold still recovering? No, I don't want Sam Darnold. Sorry. Brett Favre taught Rodgers. Rocco Forgot says you can always switch your favorite teams. It's never too late. I can't do that. I can't do that. Thank you for the likes. All right, we got 4.4 thousand likes. All right, you guys keep liking it if you want to. I'll tell you what I think of McCarthy coming back, but I haven't seen any shares here, so give me a couple of shares. Give me a couple of shares, and I'll tell you exactly in which capacity I could see Mike McCarthy returning to the Green Bay Packers. May not be what you're thinking, or maybe it is. I don't know. Yeah, rumor has it that Sam Darnold is still holding on to the ball. They could be. Guys, we're at 3 shares right now. You guys got to give me like 3 more shares. Just give me 3, and I'll tell you how I think Mike McCarthy is going to come back to the Packers. We got the likes, so that's good. Appreciate that. There you go. Packers plus Bucks, Brewers. You shared it. 2 more shares, and I'll tell you in what capacity I could see Mike McCarthy returning to the Green Bay Packers. But Packers, Brewers, Bucks. Now you're sharing too much. We need somebody else to share it. We got the 6 now. I need one more person to share it. And I'll tell you how I think McCarthy could come back to the Packers. Serious question. Who do you want to win the Super Bowl now that your team is out? I would probably say the Bills. All right. Quentin Dalton shared the live. So, all right. I'll answer it. The way in which, now, none of you were probably thinking this, but I could see it happening at some point, and I would actually welcome this. Mike McCarthy, could he return to the Green Bay Packers? Yes, he definitely could. Not in the way that you're thinking, but in a similar way to what I'm doing right now. Radio broadcast booth. That's how he could return to the Packers. Nobody signs him. He loves Green Bay. Loves the Packers. Always did. Always respected the organization and the history of the franchise and all that kind of stuff. I could see Mike McCarthy coming back to the Green Bay Packers as part of the radio broadcast group. Being in the booth for games. Yeah. Thank you guys for the shares. But that is how I could see Mike McCarthy returning. Not as a coach, but after his coaching days are over, which could be after this year, he could come back and he could join Wayne Larrivee and Larry McCarron up in the broadcast booth. Boo, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Now, to be fair, when you guys were asking about how he could come back, I didn't say it would be coaching. I just said I could see a way in which he would come back to the Packers. And that could happen. And that was truthful.
And that's why our family will only drive a Subaru.
Subaru. More IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus awards than any other brand. Love. It's what makes Subaru, Subaru.
Jalen Hurts is LaFleur's daddy. There's a lot of people who are LaFleur's daddy. Yeah, Danson, he already made a ton of money, won a Super Bowl, not a bad take. No. I don't think so. I think people would enjoy McCarthy being up there. He's got a personality to him. I could see McCarthy doing that and coming back because, like I said, Mike McCarthy always loved the Packer organization, loved the history of the Packers, that whole thing. And despite being very unpopular as a coach at the end with Packer fans, I think he's still a popular person. Like, people like him, like his personality. I could see him coming back and broadcasting with the Packers before I could see him going on a national show, on one of the main networks. Either a show or a commentator on, like a Tom Brady or Tony Romo, whatever. I could see him being with the Packers. Gruden was always a favorite of mine in the booth, says Rocco. Tirico is good too. Yeah. Both of them were good. Gruden was fun. Gruden's done it all now. Coach, Monday Night Football, Barstool Sports now. Jennifer says, where do I live? Well, can't tell you exactly where I live. I live in Wisconsin. Yes, Gruden is funny on Barstool. Yeah, there you go. Hire McCarthy as full-time challenger. Dude rarely lost a challenge as head coach. Yeah. Well, I don't remember what his challenge rate was, but yeah. Better than Matt LaFleur's. Jennifer also lives in Wisconsin, loves the Packers, as do I. Go Pack, go. Yeah, you got it. Better check my picks information here on the Bucks game. See if I could possibly win any money on this. Need Bobby Portis to hit two 3-pointers. Viking Fan Sports Center, thank you for the follow. Thanks. Quentin Dalton, thank you for the like. And I think you followed too. So thank you for that. Yeah, if you guys want to follow along, give you a free shout out, no big deal. Carol, thank you for the follow. See how easy it is? And Carol Wickman got a shout out. Caden, thank you for the roses. Appreciate it. Carol from Illinois. Look at that. Even Illinois following along. Thank you. De Pere. We got a check-in from De Pere. Who was that? Witep? WHITEP? However you say it, welcome from De Pere. Watson is not a wide receiver 1. He's too injury prone. Yeah. Do you go to Badger games in Madison? Not really. I don't make many trips to Madison. A few times. When I was in high school, when I was just out of high school, I went to, I've been to Madison, I've been there a lot for a lot of different things. But when I was just out of high school, I did go to Madison with somebody that I played baseball with in high school for the Milwaukee Brewers were holding a tryout. And I played baseball in high school, coached high school baseball for 8 years then after graduating. But I did go to a Brewer tryout in Madison. So that was fun. But I didn't get a job. Mike says, do you want McCarthy back for a head coach? The Cowboys are done with him now. He's not coming back to Milwaukee as a head coach, or Green Bay as a head coach. Played baseball in Whitefish Bay. All right. TK says, I think Matt LaFleur is on the hot seat in 2026. What was that? Next year? 2 years from now. Could be that he's on the hot seat. Oh, it's 9 o'clock. All right, we're going to go for a couple more minutes here. So if you guys have any other quick questions as it pertains to the Packers or anything else, get them in quick, because I'm gonna end it here in a few minutes. Still gonna post this up on YouTube. If you guys want to follow on YouTube, and I'm seeing your questions, I'll go back to them. We're going to post it up on YouTube. You can follow there. In case anything does happen where TikTok is gone, you can follow on YouTube. You can go subscribe right now. It's youtube.com/@ youtube.com/@ Wisconsin Family 1, the number 1. At Wisconsin Family 1. Easiest thing to do, follow on X. Wisconsin_fam. We're coming up on about 21,000 followers on X. We've gotten about 2,000 followers over the last 2 weeks. So come on, follow on there. At Wisconsin_fam. TK, thank you for following. Let me go back to some of the questions here that I saw. How's the weather up there? From Bust says, didn't get a chance to visit the parents in Appleton. A lot of snow. No, hardly any snow in Wisconsin. TK says, are you still in on Jordan Love? I'm not out on Love, but what I say is that he didn't play well in the first half last year, played fantastic in the second half, and then this year did not play well. So I'm not in or out. I'm waiting and seeing. But when he plays well, I'll say it. When he doesn't play well, I also say that. Rocco says, wideout and a few linemen away from being great. Brett Favre couldn't hurt either. Brett Favre couldn't hurt what? I don't know. Coaching? That could hurt, but Yeah. There was a Matt LaFleur one here I wanted to see. Matt LaFleur has done special things with his team no other coach is accomplishing. And youngest team in the year league 2 years running. Yeah, they're youngest by choice, by Goody's choice, and so that's on them. That's their choice. But also, they are young, but they are not inexperienced, which is the biggest problem that comes with youth. And they should have been better this year, considering the experience that they had last year.
18 victims, including all 3 families who lost their lives, called us. Because Wisconsinites know who to call when it's a must-win scenario. They call Havish Routier. National reputation, tough service.
Jennifer says Brett Favre is about. I don't know what that means. Did I go to the Eagles game? No. No. All right, one more minute, and then we're going off. So get the questions in real quick here. Let me grab my hat. I'll have to go outside for a minute, let the dog out after I'm done with this. Let's strap it up here. 0 degrees. Actually, well, it was 0 degrees with the wind chill when we started. Favorite game I went to at Lambeau? That would be the Al Harris interception game. I mentioned a few games I was at earlier, but the Al Harris interception one, yeah. Hemp says I don't think Jordy is a Super Bowl winner. Jordan, I think you mean, but Brett and Aaron were good, both only 1-1 each. That is true. Let's go Buffalo. All right, I can get on the board with that. The couch is comfortable, OTC. Anthony says go Pack. Oh yeah. Get them in quick, guys. We got 30 seconds left. 30 seconds. Mama Terry, thank you for the likes. Appreciate that. You guys got about 20 seconds left here to like and follow. Again, make sure you follow on Twitter, Wisconsin_fam. And if you follow me on there, send me a note at me and let me know that you followed after watching here on TikTok. Jordy Love, 54. What's up? Not much. Just about to get off here for the night. Thank you for the likes. Jordan Love, overrated. Love is not the one. And here we go. Fly, Eagles, fly. All right. We're done. We're getting off here now. Hey, appreciate you guys. Thank you for everyone who followed along and who hit the follow button, who liked the live, shared it. Had a fun time talking with you guys as always, so I appreciate it. And stick around. Hopefully TikTok doesn't go anywhere. We keep doing these things. If not, like I said, you can follow on YouTube, youtube.com/@WisconsinFamily1. youtube.com/@WisconsinFamily, and then just the number 1. Make sure you go on X too, because that is kind of the main hub for everything. You can find all of me tweeting morning to night on there, annoying the hell out of Packer fans and other fans alike. At Wisconsin_fam. Wisconsin_FAM. You guys have a good night too. Appreciate you guys all joining per usual. So we will talk soon. Make sure you guys are following along and the other things in case something happens here on TikTok. Adios.